Today's adventure begins looking at this sculpture of Harry Potter. It's going to be a very Harry Potter filled day. I'm going to go to some of the filming locations here in London, England. I'm doing a walking tour. You're a wizard, Harry. Starting off here, going to take the underground, the public transit tubes, if you will, and head up to King's Cross Station, I believe it's called. I asked one of the staff here, said that the Piccadilly line takes me right to King Cross. I also learned to stand on the right on the escalator because everyone walks on the left. Looks like it's only a few stops also, so I'm starting off here at Piccadilly Circus. I have to go to King's Cross. And as a recording of this, Friday, TGIF, January 24th, 2025. It's gonna be a good day, I'm excited. Love taking the tubes here. It's so dang convenient. So dang convenient. I'm already at King's Cross, just like that. Okay, I made it into King's Cross. What a beautiful building. And the platform 9 3/4. This is the freaking line to get a picture with the cart going through the wall. Oh my Lord. How much of this is going to be shown on the tour, but goodness gracious, I doubt my tour group's going to be waiting in this line. Welcome everyone. TheDailyWoo here, wearing an appropriate miniature Ravenclaw scarf, the house I belonged to when I was first sorted by the Sorting Hat years ago. That is what the Sorting Hat put me in, and after watching the films numerous times, I feel like out of all the houses, that is the one that most applies to me. Granted, after recently rewatching the films again before I left, all 8 movies, I didn't watch anything past the first 8, any of the prequels and all that. 7 films, 8 movies, Deathly Hallows is 2 parts. I feel like I could be applied to any of the houses, just like the characters in the movies. I think some of them could have been in different houses, but it chose to be in certain ones. The Sorting Hat put them in certain ones. I am Team Ravenclaw, and I figured I would probably sport this today. Also, the platform 9 3/4, I believe the photo op is not the actual spot. Hoping we can see the real spot from the movie. Watch them all again, as stated. Love those movies. Have been to Wizarding World in California. Have been to Wizarding World and Diagon Alley in Florida years ago. But I'm going to see the real locations. The London locations. Join me, shall you? So I must add, this is going to be part of a walking tour. So I don't know how much ground we're going to cover, but it's supposed to be the most extensive walking tour that I could find. But there are other locations that are a ways from London that I'm not going to be doing today. So I'm kind of in the hands of the guide. But I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, I got a few minutes before the tour starts. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee and then meet up with the guide and the others in the group. But I'm going to go inside the platform 9 3/4 Harry Potter shop right here at King's Cross and just kind of do a little bit of looking around. Now, out of the 8 films, I have a few that are my favorites. I think the first one is just so innocent and pure and just really good. And one thing about the movies, they get darker as it goes on. But the first one is really untouchable as far as just good vibes and makes you get those good feelings inside and all that. But I think probably my favorites have to be a toss-up between Prisoner of Azkaban, Order of the Phoenix, and Half-Blood Prince. I think those 3, depending on each time I watch them, kind of are the ones I lean to probably being my favorite. Deathly Hallows are good, the last 2, but I don't know if I'd put those. I mean, they're very, very dramatic, but I think of the 3, and probably Half-Blood Prince. I think the last time watching through them, I think that movie, right now, personally, each time it fluctuates each time I watch them, but I think right now that's probably my favorite one. Order of the Phoenix is great too as well. But really, part 1 is always one you can just put on and really just get a good feeling after watching it. Also, Dumbledore in the first 2. I think my favorite Dumbledore is in the first 2 films. He passed away, and then another actor came in and did all the other ones. He's great too. But the first Dumbledore, yeah, he was great. I don't know if I'm going to get in that line or not, but I did purchase this. Little platform 9 3/4 King's Cross London magnet that I can put on my little metal cabinets on my garage. I'm getting a lot of stuff from my England trip. This is awesome. The thing that's really awesome about those films as well is all 8 of them are great. Like, there's not one dud in the whole group. It's tough to say that about a lot of franchises. Really looking forward to seeing these spots. Really looking forward to it. There it is. Black Sheep Coffee. Oh, it's a rollerblader just went. Oh, actually a roller skater. All right, piping hot caffeinated beverage achieved from the spot. The Black Sheep Coffee. All right. Get caffeinated. I just met my guide, waiting on a couple more people to show up. He said there's a total of only 5 people. He said he likes to go with small groups. I'm not sure if everyone's going to show up, but the absolute most that's going to be on this tour is 5 people. All right, first spot in Chamber of Secrets. This was used as the station. This is when when Ron rescues Harry's flying by with the car. He's actually showing some clips too. And the car might have been around the other side, but you see this clock tower very prominently. This is the corner of King's Cross and St. Pancras right there. So just picture the car flying by. All right, our guide's name is Ruben, and he's got a little video clipboard with him too to show us the scenes, which is kind of a nice touch. So where the 9 3/4 scene was right over there. We're not able to go in. There's another entrance that he was able to peek through the window, but because there's a bad storm north of here, cannot enter without, and the rest of my group doesn't have a ticket to go in. But right over there, between the 4 and 5 platform, was where the 9 3/4 was. And because they have certain areas blocked off because of some storms that are and the trains are going to, can't go in that particular section. So moving on. Well, the rest of the group is in the store. That was the other spot. My guide said, oh, if you want to, run over, scan in like you're going to take the train and get a view of where the real 9 3/4 was. That's between 4 and 5. And then come back and meet the group, because it says about 20 minutes while the rest of the group's in there shopping. I've already done my shopping. Scanned in as if I was going to take the train, and then I'll scan out like I took the train. Yeah, you could. This is also a scene where Hagrid's walking through here, talking about the 9 3/4 to Harry. So there's platform 4. So he said it was between 4 and 5. Oh yeah. I'm not for certain, but I think it was right in here, a little farther down. I don't have anything to match up because I'm kind of doing this on the fly real quick, but I believe this is where Harry sees the dream sequence when he sees he who should not be named down here. Looking at the clips, Harry was like right here. Of course, it was daylight outside, but it was like right in this area right here, give or take a few feet. At least the best that I can tell, kind of in a rush. This is the general area, which is pretty dang awesome. All right, I'm gonna scan out and meet up with the group again. Not the real spot of the location, but I kind of saw the general area. The guide was saying sometimes this line gets to be 5 hours long in the summer. It's 3 hours now. Taking the underground now to some other spots. Out of the underground, up on the upper level, going over to the market from Sorcerer's Stone. Look at that.
The building itself is from 1881. And if somebody wants a picture, wait a minute.
Beautiful through here. This is the angle when Harry and Hagrid were walking. Right.
As you can see,
Like that.
of this part.
Yeah, Harry and Hagrid walking right there. You can see all this. Alright, let me turn this corner. Ooh, I see the door.
So you have here 44, 45. Somebody didn't saw this here. And then they are going to the Leaky Cauldron that is going to be
Leaky Cauldron.
right there. I think they hate
It's a
Harry
coffee
Potter
place.
because they decided to close it. It was a pub, and right now, as you can see,
It's a coffee shop.
But most of the days it's closed. So my question is, I don't know how they pay the rent. Is magic because most of the time it's closed. So I don't know what is happening. But I think because
There was a painted black, it was a black door then. It's a coffee place now, but it's not open.
I mean it's funny because it's always the same one. Sorry, I apologize. It's close to me. It's like they maybe open one day per week. So you have there the original site, Leaky Cauldron.
It's Hagrid and Harry walking in.
Here is the one of Harry Potter that I told you they-
Man, that's freaking cool.
Can you see it? Here, this one.
Oh yeah. There's a skeleton of Harry. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's the door.
Jack the Ripper tour, like, oh, this is inspiration for Diagon Alley.
Right.
The thing is happening is everybody saying this is inspiration, like as you can see here, the inspiration of Diagon Alley. So J.K. Rowling is saying like, no, no, no. I'm going to show you later one of the inspiration, but as you can see, Harry Potter right now is very famous, so everybody wants like money. They are saying, oh, this is the inspiration for this one, this is the inspiration, and it's like, well, we need the basis, you know, the information.
Now that is so freaking cool. That is so cool. That's the spot.
Dat zou niet te staan.
A piece of the original London Bridge. Right here is where the original London Bridge was.
And then you have their Tower Bridge. Not in the original.
The Tower Bridge, I walked across that last night. The scene, I believe, he was saying Order of the Phoenix.
This one.
That ship can be seen when they're flying by in Order of the Phoenix on their brooms also. Also behind it was the council building at the beginning of Half-Blood Prince. The start of it, when the title screen appears, it's like behind the ship there. Is it right underneath there?
And now I'm going to show you a map.
London Bridge. Not the original London Bridge, but a London Bridge. It's the current London Bridge.
If you can see, this is the medieval. It was right here. We have houses because it was the taxes. If you wanted to go to London, you have to pay the taxes. Similar like.
All right, heading over to another market area now underneath this bridge.
So we came to Borough Market because I'm going to show where they should Harry Potter, but it was hard to find it today. What I did is I watched a bit of the movies, finding the places, well, what can I go to, and then I found this name because the next one is the oldest market in
alluding to the fact to look at the steeple of that old building. He said this was kind of a toughie to find. So that's why I was focusing on the top of that steeple item on top of that old building. You hear the train going by on top. Scene from Bridget Jones's Diary, the first one, right in this scene where it was a fight scene. He was just showing the clip. He was mentioning that because one of the actresses in that scene, during the fight scene, played Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter.
Store is agriculture.
That's Prisoner. There was the Leaky Cauldron in Prisoner of Azkaban. You can see it behind the Tacos El Pastor sign, that bay door. There.
And this
filmed it up there.
is very famous because it was so expensive, and then they went there to do the lunch and the dinner and the stuff.
Okay.
So that it was.
Alright, so evidently after filming on top of the roof, they went over here and had a few drinks.
Like this to see the people most of the locations. Because most of the Harry Potter tours, they don't go.
As I'll say, he wants to do the tour at night because most of these scenes were at night. Dirty Lane. Say back in the day when prostitution was legal here, that's why they got this nickname. Not Harry Potter related. A fun fact. This pub is one of the few buildings that survived the Great Fire. So it dated back to the 1600s. This building right here. It's interesting he's adding in some non-Harry Potter stuff, which is kind of fascinating. A little historical stuff. I really like this guy. Also, this is a very lengthy tour. I think in total it's going to be about 3.5 hours. There are other tours, but I chose this one because it's the longest. The other ones are like 2 hours. And he said that he really loves the movie so much he wants to go into details and show some spots that the other tours don't show.
Army is a canon stuff. So they decided to bring it here to London.
It's an ashtray.
To put different items. So it's like distribute here like to the cars and the stuff couldn't came to this part of the city. So right now, as you can see, it's clear. Nobody can see it. But it's like it's true for 200 years ago.
Okay, I definitely recognize this bridge. There's a scene where the bridge gets destroyed. Millennium Bridge, I think he said it was, built in 2000? It's a very unique looking bridge.
Super.
Crossed over the bridge, so in the bridge is where the Death Eaters destroy the bridge. And when you turn, you can see the cathedral off in the distance. You can see it prominently in the scene. He was also saying it was used in one of the other Potter movies, the staircase that they're climbing up and down. Played Prisoner of Azkaban. The staircase was inside this cathedral, which almost looks like a Capitol building, right? And they also used the same inside of it and the same staircase in one of the sequels to Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise. And of course they digitized the destruction of the bridge for the Death Eater scene. But But when you watch it, you can definitely see this in the distance. Definitely pretty cool scene. And the Death Eaters are coming across London.
It's close, but it's one of the 8.
Oh man, there's only 8 of these. It's pretty neat. There's only 8 of these left in the entire city. Mind the gap. Alright, so this is where they're going to the Ministry of Magic. Mr. Weasley doesn't know how to go through it, so he goes backwards. So the guide said, you can also notice these like lights and everything right here are the same. He let us know there's like a spot here. He said on the other side of Big Ben, it's like a 2 or 3 hour wait sometimes to get a photo with the telephone box and Big Ben. But this spot over here, there was no one. So I took a picture of me here. Look kids, Big Ben, Parliament, telephone box. Just up on that the other night, we're now walking over to the Ministry of Magic. That turned out pretty cool. I mean, it was like a 1 minute wait. So certain areas of the city where they have this angle from the other side, very, very lengthy to wait. So nice to have a local guy giving you some little tips, little hacks. You definitely get your steps in on this tour too, which I like. Definitely enjoy walking. Weather's nice, cool, and crisp, so can't beat it.
We have there the Ministry of Defense. In the books is where it's going to be the Ministry of Magic. So for the movies they are going to go, where I'm going to show you back, they came from the underground. And I don't know if you remember, they have to flush themselves in the toilets. So go to the underground. The toilets are going to be there, just in the black sculpture. As you can see, we don't have any toilet, but really for the thing, they have
They built the toilets right there.
and they went to another direction. So I'm going to show you where they go to the ministry. Is near here, and I know you're going to see most of these buildings.
I love that scene where they get flushed down the toilet. So they built the toilets in the middle of the road?
Yeah, I mean,
The
I
set.
think with computer.
Okay.
Of course, I think so. Because I don't think they can toilets like. But you're going to see, because when I saw this thing, it was very funny. Because it's like, it's in the middle of the road. You have to go to the Corinthians Hotel, it's right there, the yellow one. Because we are like 10 minutes right now. And it's very safe. It's quiet. We are in the center of the city. So this one, I look, and the cheapest room is £650 per night.
I think I recognize this scene. I think this is where the lift was. That they go down into the ground with the telephone box. I think it's interesting that they built another one of these here. Another archway. And the telephone box was right there. You can see that building in the background. So just to reiterate, they come walking out of here. Telephone box was over there. They went down into, and then when they come out of the Ministry of Magic, they come out of that door. That still looks the same. And Ron was right here, looking around this corner, looking that way. That's pretty neat. Ministry of Magic back there. whole time I've had the Harry Potter soundtrack in my head, playing the tune over and over as I'm walking through here. John Williams classic soundtrack. There is a Sherlock Holmes pub. Look at this, that's pretty dang cool. Right? It's like a little English UK pub named after Sherlock Holmes. Going into this little corridor called the Arches Shopping right here. Alright, we're walking now. He's taking us over to an alley that was the inspiration. He said Rowling used it as the inspiration for Nocturne Alley, which is a little more of an evil, sleazy alley than Diagon. We're heading over there now. 5556 St. Martin Lane. Here at Goodwin's Court. It's right off of that road I was just walking on. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can already kind of see it here. Look at this.
So welcome to this beautiful alley. This is the inspiration for Nocturne Alley. This alley is from the 16th century. So, the Cronin used to work near Trafalgar Square, sitting here, and suddenly she used to live near Clapham Junction. I live right there, but it's a coincidence because when I moved to London, it was like I need to find a room, and then it's like, oh, I'm living near Leaky Cauldron. This is why we have this beautiful street, Severus Road and Seaside. You have here Gryffindor. This is welcome Muggles to the road. Because right now it's an apartment, it's an Airbnb. So right now they are taking the money, saying that she gets inspiration here. And you have it with of course.
That's cool.
So, this alley is very interesting, first of all, because we have the glass lamp.
This is so cool.
You see there, you can see where the
I love the angled windows.
bottom, you see? We have the bricks, the original ones, dirty with the chimneys, and we have original glasses. All the glasses that have the circles used to be handmade, so they have to cut it. This is why these glasses are like 2,000 years, 200 years ago.
This is so dang cool. He was also saying that JK used the initials JK. That way they wouldn't know the original writings were a man or a woman. She used to live on Service, a name called Service, which ended up being the character Snape's first name. I never realized that. I had heard it, but I definitely had forgotten that. Pretty interesting. He also just showed a clip from Mary Poppins Returns, the sequel from 2018 to Mary Poppins. They filmed right here in this alley, one scene. A real life alley inspiration. In the Harry Potter universe. I mean, it looks just like it. Just like that, back out into the regular streets. As it turns out, we circle back and at the square where the Harry Potter sculpture is and the front of it, And I didn't realize it, but right over near where the Harry Potter sculpture is where the movie theater, where all 8 of the premieres took place, and the red carpet was right here along this little walkway here, where the guy riding the bike is going past, right there. He's walking us over here. I kind of recognize this with the scene with Hermione walking through here. I think Hermione and Harry perhaps walking through here, if I remember correctly. The scene where they're walking, you see the cinema sign. So if you look up where the cinema sign is, the 3 of them, it's Ron, Harry, and Hermione. And you can even see these right here as they're walking this way. And that was in Deathly Hallows. I think part 1, Deathly Hallows part 1. One last spot after walking out of where we just were, which is there, where the 3 of them, 3 of the main cast were walking. We're going to go back over to Piccadilly as soon as this car passes. Just explained there was a few scenes in Piccadilly as well, and the tour just ended. I gotta say, the tour was really, really good. Highly recommend it. As I stated earlier, there are more locations than the ones we went to, but I will say he really packed a lot of different spots, a lot of walking, a lot of taking the subway system, the underground, the tubes, to knock out as much as we could in the 3.5 hours. Very content with it. I thought about just doing some of the locations myself, but I figured it'd be good to have a guide. And I recommend it. The name of his tour, I guess he just kind of started it within the last couple of years, is the most complete and exclusive Harry Potter tour in London. That's the name of his company. 3.5 hours. And I think it was about $25. Now, I don't know if that was US money or if it was pounds. It was around $30, I think, probably. See, 25 US would be 30 pounds. Either way, about $30, give or take a little bit. And based on his recommendation, I went inside the Lego store in Piccadilly Circus, where they had a lot of Harry Potter stuff, which is pretty neat to see too. A lot more than I expected. I was thinking maybe they'd just have like Harry Potter and maybe Hermione and Ron, but they had a whole cast of characters in there, which is pretty neat to see. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video of the vlog. Also, all of London, at least the areas I've walked around, just give me that Harry Potter vibe. Everyone dressed in like their jackets and their scarves. Just feels like I'm just walking around a Harry Potter movie at all times, which kind of makes sense because this is where J.K. lived and wrote the books, etc. Or at least based it on a lot of things around here. Also should mention I'm not an expert on the Potter films. I just really like them. Definitely people who know a lot more. My guide knew a lot. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.